I was not able to do the last one. Okay. I was not able to do second and three. Okay. And okay, let's discuss them. All right. You're not able to do the last one. No problem. No issues. All right. So these are our questions first. Okay. So these are our assignment questions. So the first question is all about calculating your incremented salary based on your department numbers. All right. So what's the answer for this? What's the answer for this? Can someone send, whoever has solved the first answer, can you people send it me? All right. This is from Anup. All right. Case department number when 10, then okay, perfect. It's cool. In department number 10, only 10%, 20, 15%. All right, let me include the department number based on the. Let me see. Yeah, this is why I have kept for it. So it's not 20%, it is 15%, Anup. See, according to the question, 10 department 10%, 20 department 15%, 30 department 20%. Okay, so your logic is correct, but the answer was wrong. P dot employee underscore ID Simona. I did not do joins and everything. How come you have written this query? We were not using joins. Where did you get this query from? We are working on a table called EMP, not employee table and jobs table. We did not cover joins at all. This is a wrong one. Okay, and Deepthi, yeah, Deepthi, you're good. Perfect. So that's the correct answer. Okay, so Deepti's answer. This is Deepti's. All right. The inconsistent data types. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. You have already specified department number, so you need to specify only value here, Deepti. Otherwise, the query will not get executed. All right. So this is the correction in your query. You already specified department number here. Need not to specify within when. When you say something in quotes, it means that that is a string for you. Okay, so that's a wrong approach. This indicates you have to read in this way. When department number when 10, then do this. Department number when 20, then do this. Department number when 30, then do this. Okay, clear? All right, so this was the first question, and the answer for the second question is here. All right, so the second question has got a condition applied on two columns. Alright, the condition is applied on two columns. Based on that two columns, you are going to make a decision. Now see, case when department number is equal to 10 and job is equal to analyst. When department number is equal to 10 and job is equal to analyst. When both these conditions are met, then increment the salary by 10%. So who is the person? Let me take the department number also for our verification. Okay. Now see, what is our condition? 10 and analyst. Do you see it? 10 and analyst? There is no person called a 10 and analyst. So this will not be applied at all. Alright. Next. Department number in 10 or 20. I mean, either department number can be 10 or 20 and he should be as a manager. Then you're giving a 15% hike. See, 10 and a manager. This record satisfies the condition. Now you are about to give a 15% hike to this particular person. So 15% hike would be somewhere around 300 or so. Alright. So you're adding to that. So it's coming up to 2817. Likewise, 20 and manager. See, Jones is another guy who is falling into this particular zone. Right, into this particular criteria. Who else? None. So 30 and salesman. The salesman's Turner is belonging to 30 department and he's also belonging to, he's also working as salesman. So he falls under this criteria. It's 20% hike straight away. So 300 would be incremented. So it is 1800. Likewise, Martin. Alright. Likewise, you see Ward, you see Allen. All these four people are falling as salesmen and meeting the third criteria. They're falling into 30 department and they're working as salesmen. So you should be giving them as rest all are not meeting the criteria. So what does others specify? Else. Other, whoever is not satisfying the condition, everyone will fall under this particular else criteria, and for every other person who is not meeting above 3 requirements has to get a 18% hike. See, this guy clerk is not meeting that criteria. I'm sorry, is not meeting that particular criteria, so he'll get a 18% hike. Is that okay? Clear? Fine. Alright, so the third one. It's very simple. You have solved the first one. Similar is the way you have to solve the third one. Instead of salary here, let me remove. Instead of salary, say quality analyst, production. Sales. Now what is this? A department name. You see that? Okay. So earlier in the above two queries, you are computing a value. Here you are going to use a literal, a constant value, whichever the department number or whichever the employee who is falling under each and every department, they'll have this particular constant value displayed within that particular column called as your department name. Let me put that particular department for you. You'll see the conformance. So 20 department, he should be a production according to our requirement, right? 20 in production. See, you see 20 in production. 30 sales, 10 quality analyst. Alright. So this is how you are supposed to write the queries. Alright, so this is our assignment. Let me copy this. Okay. Yes. Okay, let me start. Okay. So these are your assignment answers for today. Let's go ahead with our next set of discussion. Alright. So the next set of function is a decode function. Alright. So the decode function will act similar to your case function, but it has got its own limitation. So we'll try to understand this. Okay. Now let's take the situation, the above situation. This is the situation for us. Okay. If at all you meet a 10 department, then make him as quality or give the department name as quality analyst. If at all you see the 20 department, give them as production. If at all you see the 30 department, give the department name as sales. If I take this as my consideration, okay, select EMP number, e-name, job, salary, department number, comma, decode is the function that we are going to use to meet the above criteria. Decode. What is the column on which we are going to make a comparison? Department number. So if department number 10, then make him quality analyst. Alright. Likewise, if it is department number 20, then he should be as production. He should be in the department number production. If it is 30, then he should be in sales. Okay. And if nothing else, then the default statement has to be given. Here we don't have any default statement. So I'm just closing the braces. I'm just giving the naming convention as department underscore name from EMP. Now if I execute the same query, I'll get the same resultant as what I got within the case statement. So how is the decode function going to work? So the decode function will work like we'll compare the expression to each value or each search value one by one. If expression is equal to a search, then it returns the corresponding result. So what do I mean by this entire statement? Alright, so the decode value will search department number 10 within this particular column. If at all you see a 10 value within this particular department column, then it will assign the value as quality analyst. If at all it see a value as 20, then it will assign a value as production. If at all you see the value as 30, it will assign the value as sales. And you have given your aliasing name. Okay, so this is how your decode function works. But the case is also working in the same way. Alright, so which is advantageous now? We have to think in that perspective. Yes, even the case statement is giving me the same result. Even decode is giving me the same result, and case statement is giving me the same result. So what is the difference between case and decode? Let's take a situation. Okay, let's take a situation. Display EMP number, e-name, job, salary, department number. Okay, annual salary All right. If annual salary is greater than 36,000, then grade as A. Okay. I mean, give a grade as A. If annual salary is greater than 36,000, less than 50,000. Okay. Is greater than or equal to 50,000, then grade as B, else grade as C. So this is how we have to generate the grades of the employee. So you have to assign the grades of the employee based on this particular condition. Now what you have to do here, you have to calculate the annual salary. Also on calculating the annual salary, make a comparison, make a check. If the annual salary is greater than 36,000 and less than 1,000, then assign the grade value as A. If at all the annual salary is greater than 50,000, greater than or equal to 50,000, then assign the grade as B, else give the grade as C. This is what our requirement is. Okay, now let's say D code is not completely, I mean, it's a if then else condition, but it has got its own limitation. See, we'll understand the limitation here. First, let's implement this particular thing with a case statement. Select EMP number, e-name, job, salary, department number, annual underscore salary. How is annual underscore salary calculated? I do not have a column called as annual underscore salary. Annual underscore salary is calculated by salary into 12. Perfect. All right. Now the case expression starts. Case when salary into 12 is greater than 36,000 and salary into 12 is less than, salary into 12 is less than 50,000, then A. Alright. When salary into 12 greater than or equal to 50,000, then B. Else C. Right, and grade. This is my aliasing name from EMP. This is my table name. Now if I implement this, I'll get the value created. Right, I got the value created. Now one more thing, the point that we already learned, annual salary is a column aliasing name. Right, now if I try to write the same query in this way, right, instead of this, if I try to give annual salary, what happens? It throws an error because annual salary is a generated column. Annual salary is a generated column. It is not a permanent column, and using, I mean, we make a comparison done using a temporary column. So this query will always throw an error for you. Okay, done. So column aliasing, its existence is only temporary basis. Please do not use column aliasing for any computation purpose. Now let's try to write the same decode function, a same thing with the decode function. You will understand the difference between that. Alright. Now decode. First is your comparison column. So what is the column on which you are going to compare? Salary into 12. This becomes your annual salary. Now here comparison works if it is a perfect value. You are going to work on a direct value. If department number is equal to 10. But here our question is all about making a comparison other than equal to. Right. So you cannot give, let's say if I give the values in this way, is greater than or equal, greater than 36,000 and less than 50,000, alright, comma, then what is that? Then A, right? Alright, comma, is greater than or equal to 50,000, comma, B, else you have C. This is your default statement. So this is my grade from EM. Now this is how I have to write. But when you write this comparison, you see a red light got highlighted, right? See, when I execute it, it says missing expression. So the conclusion over decode and case expression is case expression can be used for any kind of comparisons. Case expression can be used for any kind of comparisons, whereas decode is going to be used only where you have a direct equality condition met. For example, $36,000. If salary into 12 is 36,000, then assign the value as A. If salary into 12 is equal to 50,000, then assign the value as B. If for all other conditions, give the code as C. If I execute this, I'll see my query is getting executed. Okay, so the difference between a decode function and a case expression is case expression can be used to work on any kind of comparisons, whereas decode is used, or you can work with only equal to operator when working with decode functions. Is that okay? The difference between case expression and a decode? Both are multi if and if then else statements, but one work in a different approach, the other work in a different approach. Is that okay? Clear? Yes, super. All right. So the next thing is all about our aggregate functions. All right, aggregate functions. Now you have, in case of your Oracle, you have many aggregate functions like sum, all right, average, count, min, max. Okay, these are the main aggregate functions that we will be dealing with. Sum, average, count, minimum, maximum. Yeah, they should be fine. I'm not talking about those first and everything, first, last. I'll talk about later because they are analytical functions. Okay, I'm going to talk about them later on, not now. Okay, all right, fine. So what are these particular aggregate functions? So when I say sum, alright, sum would calculate me, alright, the sum of all the values in a particular column. Alright, sum would give me all the values in a particular column. For instance, I want to know the total salary paid to all the employees. When I say I want to find out the total salary given to all the employees, then what should I do? I should make a summation of all the salaries given to all the employees. Right. Likewise, if I want to know the average salary paid to the employees, then what should I do? I have to summate all the salaries given to all the employees by total number of employees. So that gives me an average. So this is what an average function do here. Count. I want to figure out the total number of employees working in a particular organization, or I want to find out the total number of employees within that particular table. So what would I do? I would go with count. Likewise, the minimum salary paid to a particular employee, or what is the minimum salary paid to an employee? What is the maximum salary paid to an employee? So all these are your aggregate functions. These aggregate functions will take the value, all the table values, and will generate a singular value or a multiple values based on your conditions. Alright, based on your conditions, these are going to generate a single value or a multiple values. Let's see their execution. How can we execute these functions on a table as a whole initially? I'm just concentrating these functions on a table as a whole. Okay, now let's say display the total salary paid to all the employees in the EMP table. So how can I display this? Select sum, and I have to pass a parameter to this particular sum. So what is the parameter that is shown in case of your EMP table, which is having the salaries? The parameter or the identifier is your salary column. Sum of salary from EMP. So when I execute this particular statement or this particular query, I get the value as 2905. 29025, sorry. Is that clear? Now the same question applied in a different way. Display the total salary paid to all the employees belonging to department number 10. So how should be my queries, or how should I write my query? Come on. What should be my query? Come on. Select sum of sal from EMP, and I have to calculate this salary corresponding to only department number 10. So that means I have to filter the data where department number is equal to 10. Now this will say me the total salary paid to department number 10. Alright. Likewise, display the average salary paid to department number 20 employees. So how can I write my query? Select AVG of salary. I'm calculating the average of salary from EMP, and what is my condition here? I have to calculate my average salary only corresponding to department number 20. Only employees corresponding to department number 20. So where department number is equal to 20. Very simple. Alright. Likewise. Yeah, good. Likewise, display the count of employees working in department number 30. So how should I write my query? Select count of, you saw the braces there, right? So here we have to specify the asterisk, or you can even specify any of your column name. Alright, for now let's go with asterisk. I'll tell you what happens with a column name. Select count of star from EMP where department number is equal to 30. Now you see this, I get the value as 6. There are totally 6 employees working in department number 30. See here where department number is equal to 30. If I execute this part of the query, I get total 6. Alright. Now, the same query, like I said, I can apply with any of the column, right? So, count of EMP number from EMP where department number is equal to 30. I'm executing this part of the query. I got the value of 6. Instead of EMP number, I change the value to ename. I got the value, I'll get the value of 6. Alright. Job 6. Salary 6. Commission 4. What happened? Why when going with a column called as commission I got the value as 4? Let's try to analyze. Let's go to the query. See, in all these particular columns, yes, in all these particular columns, you have the entire set of data. But in case of your commission column, there are 2 null values. That means the data for them is not yet defined. The data for those 2 columns or those 2 records is not yet defined. So this throws an important note over aggregate functions. The important note is aggregate functions will not consider null values. Aggregate functions will not consider null values. Null values are out of consideration for your aggregated functions. Okay, is that clear? This is very, very important thing. Okay, all right, fine. So this is how you can write. The next thing, yeah, display the minimum salary of minimum salary paid within the employee table. How can we write this query? Min of sal from EMP. As simple as that. Because I don't have any filtering condition. Likewise, if I want to display the maximum salary, so display the maximum salary paid within the employee table. So select max of salary from EMP. Okay, clear? Now the next question. Display total salary paid to all employees, average salary paid to the employees, minimum salary, maximum salary, and count of employees in the EMP table. This is my question. Alright, so display total salary. So how can I display select sum of sal, comma, average salary, AVG of sal, comma, minimum salary, MIN of sal, comma, max of sal. Alright, then count of star from your EMP table. I'm executing this part of the query. You see the results. Now the reason why I have given such a question is you can write a query or you can frame a query with as many as aggregated columns within a single statement. It is not necessary that you have to break down them, but you can write as many as aggregated columns within a single statement. Is that okay? Clear? Alright. Now here, I'm modifying the same question. Round the calculated values to 2 digits. So what should be my approach here? What should I do? So what are the calculated values here? Every function that we have written is a calculated value. Okay. So now what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to apply a round function on each and everything, because we never know what would be the value that would be generated for each and everything, because if you have thousands and millions of records, you will never know. Here you have only 14 records, so you can get that particular information, but if at all it is of million records, then you never know. So what you have to do, you have to specify the rounding function over each and every value. Now this is the count that you're going to count. For sure it would be in a numerical value, it will not be in a decimal value, so you need not to go with the round function applied on it. Is that okay? Clear? Even if you apply, see how it happens. No change at all. Is that clear? Any questions so far? Aggregate functions we have started on a very basic level. Right, we have started at a very basic level. Now we are going to go into a bit advanced level. A bit advanced. Okay. Alright. Now, in the earlier situation, take a situation of this. Display the count of employees working in department number 30. And what you have done, yes, you have calculated the thing, saying select count of star from EMP where department number is equal to 30. Yes, you have done it. Perfect. But I want a single query in which I would like to know the total count of employees present in each and every department. Right, here with this query we were able to know the total count of employees present in department number 30. But what I need now, I need the count or display the count of employees present in each and every department. Okay, so that means I have to go displaying the department number and as well as the count of employees present in that particular department, right? So select, I have to display department number because I have to give an indication, right? Now count of star from EMP. Now if I execute this part of the query, it would throw an error. The reason why is you are going to apply aggregate functions on a table as a whole. Earlier you have applied on a table as a whole. But now the situation is you have to break down the table into blocks, right? You have to segregate all the 10 numbers into one particular block and figure out the value. 20 number into particular block and figure out a value. 30 number into one particular block and figure out a value. So that means here you got a necessity or you have a necessity of creating a block for each and every department, right? So, and that's the reason why you'll get an error here. It's not a group by function. So what you have to do here, we have the necessity of creating the blocks. So how am I going to create a block now? Group by department number. Now I'll get it. Got the point here? Have you understood this? Is that clear? So the question is about creating a block and calculating the values. Alright, so I have created a block and I have calculated the values. Likewise, alright, display minimum salary paid to the employees in each and every department. So what should be the query? So select department number, comma, minimum of salary from EMP. Now I have to create a block, group by department number. So in 30 department, the minimum salary paid is 950. In 20 department, the minimum salary paid is 800. In 10 department, the minimum salary paid is 1300. Alright, so likewise, display the maximum salary. Alright, minimum salary paid to the employees in each job. Now how should I frame the query? Come on, can someone give me the query for this? Now what is our block? How are we going to create a block for us? How are we going to create a block for us now? What would be our block column? Come on. Yes, perfect. So write the query. Come on. Frame the query. Start practicing right away. Select max of salary. Okay. Alright, select job. No matter wherever you keep the positioning of the columns, doesn't matter. Alright, from EMP, group by job. Simple. Alright, clear? Alright, the next question. Display the maximum salary, minimum salary, count of employees from EMP table. Alright, calculate the above values. Calculate the above values or figures. Alright, based on job and department number. Come on. How can we write this particular query? Alright, I got an answer. Okay, everything correct, Anup? A small thing that needs to be corrected. This is the one. Within the group by clause, we would separate the columns we would separate the columns by the comma. Alright, no logical operators needs to be used. Okay, is that okay? So the question is basically asking you all about, okay, it is asking about to calculate all the things based on these two columns. Now you are going to keep those two columns along with the maximum salary, minimum salary, and the total number of employees. Alright, so this means the output means there are one employee, or you have only one employee who is working as manager within 20 department. Alright, there is only one president who is working in 10 department. There is only one clerk who is working in 10 department. There are 4 salesmen who are working in 30 department, and the maximum salary paid to the salesman is 1600 and the minimum salary paid is 1250. You have 2 employees who are working as analysts in 20 department. Both are getting paid as 3000. How did I say both are paid as 3000? Because your minimum salary is equal to your maximum salary, and so you can say both are given the same package. Okay, now you see you have only one manager who is working in 30 department. You have only one manager who is working in 10 department. You have only one clerk who is working in 30 department. You have 2 clerks who are working in 20 department, and among those 2 the maximum salary carried is 1100 and the minimum salary carried is 800. Okay, so this is how you're going to work on aggregate functions. Okay, clear? All right, I'm going into a much deeper level now with the set of aggregate functions. All right, so the same question in a bit different manner now. Display the maximum salary, minimum salary, count of employees from EMP table. Calculate the above values based on job and department number. Get the results of those departments, numbers and job where the count of employees is more than 1. Alright. From the resultant, or let me say, from the resultant, get the count of employees is more than 1. Yeah, this is your question. Come on. What can we do here? Alright, so this part of the query will remain the same. Okay, now we are going to, if you want to have the count of employees more than 1, it means that we have to apply a filtering condition, isn't it? Isn't it or not? Right. See, if you see this is the column where you see the count of employees. Now what are we trying to say? What is the question asking us? We need to figure out those employees, or we need to give in the resultant of those employees whose count is more than 1. Right? Yes, I expected. Now I'll go according to your answer. Now where should I keep that where clause? Where do you want me to keep that particular where clause? Generally, where are we going to keep the where clause? Where do the where clause come? Whenever we wanted to filter out the data. Next line. I can even write in the same line. What would be the positioning of that particular where clause? It would be after from. After from is your table. Alright, it would be after your table name. Right, this is a place where we are going to keep that particular where clause, where count of star greater than 1 if I execute this part of the query. I got an error message. Why? Now here comes an extended concept, and the concept is where clause cannot be used to filter out the aggregated data. See, count of star, what kind of a column it is, what kind of a data you are going to generate using count of star. You are going to generate an aggregated data. So within the where clause, you will not be able to make a filtering, or using a where clause, you will not be able to make a filtering condition which is of aggregated data. So this is a good point, or this is an important point. Please remember this. Where clause cannot be used to filter out the aggregated data. Then the question comes, how should I filter out the data? So to filter out the data, to filter out the aggregated data, you have to use having. Having is another filtering condition which is going to get applied on aggregated columns. So how am I going to write the query now. Let's take it. This part of the body or this part of the query would be the same. All right. Group by job, comma, department number. Now, having count of star greater than 1. Having count of star greater than 1. Now, if I execute this part of the query, I'll get the resultant. Is that clear? Is that clear with the aggregated data? Filtering of aggregated data should be done using having. Using the filtering clause called as having. This is the difference between a where clause and a having clause. Where clause is used to filter out the data using non-aggregated columns. It cannot be used to filter out the aggregated columns, whereas having clause is used to filter out your aggregated columns. Clear? All right, super. All right, the next question. You have to answer it, okay? Okay, so the display, even the question. Let me check the table first. Display maximum commission, minimum commission, right? Count of employees who are taking commission, who are getting commission, okay. Total count of employees, all right, total count of employees from EMP table. Come on. How can we write this particular query? Waiting for your answers. All right. Wrong. That's wrong. Okay, you want to say min of commission? Even then, that's wrong. That is not according to my requirement. Your query framing is correct, but that is not according to my requirement. But okay, ikkada common ichu. Ikkada. All right. This query is correct. I mean, your structure is correct, but not according to my requirement. Wrong, Deepthi. All right. See, where are we going wrong now? Select min of commission perfect, max of commission perfect. All right. Now I want count of employees who are getting commission. So count of commission. Simple. Right. Earlier we have worked on count of commission column. You saw that count or aggregated functions will work on those columns or will work on the columns and it will eliminate the null values. Now you need to know who are the people who are earning the commission. So what you have to do, you have to get the count calculated using that particular column. Then count of total employees star from EMP, as simple as that. Alright, so you have total 14 employees. Among 14 employees, you see only 4 people earning commission. Of these 4 people, the maximum commission value is as 1400 and the minimum is as 0. Is that okay? Clear? Any confusion over this particular question? Is the query understandable, guys? All right, super. All right, and then let's go with the next question. Display the count of employees, right? The count of employees where salary, where minimum salary earned by the employees is greater than maximum commission earned by the employee. Alright, display the count of employees where the minimum salary of the employee should be greater than maximum commission earned by them. Alright, so select I need only count of employees from EMP. Alright, now I cannot go with a filtering condition as where, right? Because I have to filter out using an aggregated things. So having min of salary greater than max of commission. I don't have any such employees whose minimum salary is greater than the maximum value of commission. But if I try to make the question using this way, whose minimum commission? Alright, so the same thing I see there are 14 employees whose salary is greater than that. Okay? Or I'm trying to frame the question in a different manner now. See, display the count of employees where salary earned by the employees is greater than average salary or average commission earned by the employee. So how can I write the query? Select count of star from EMP having salary greater than AVG of commission. What happened now? So compare the above three queries and tell me where or why this particular query did not work, okay, and why these particular queries did work. Compare it. See, with the comparison we can derive the results, and based on that we can make a conclusion, we can go with an understanding of it. We can generate the value for this. We can even calculate the value for it. For sure we can calculate it. Okay. But this is not the right format of the query. If you have understood the group by functions, if you have understood the aggregate functions, then you should say clearly as why this particular query has thrown an error. Come on, take time, try to think, give a thought process, let me know. I'll be waiting for you. We have to use group by before having. Why we have to use group by? Did I use group by here? Did I use group by there? If I have not used group by, why should I use group by here? My query worked without group by also, right? Here, in two such situations, my query worked without group by clause. Very simple. Yes, Anup is partially correct. Anup, everything answer. Yeah, Anup is partially correct. This is not a group by expression because you see the salary column. When you say salary greater than average of the salary, this is a simple compounded value. Alright, this is a simple compounded value, I mean a calculated value which is trying to get evaluated on a column which is not at all aggregated. Right, this column is not at all an aggregated column. Right, salary is not an aggregated column. Salary remains as it is for all the 14 records. So what is happening here? The query has the query has come into a state of confusion as what is this particular salary? Okay, what is this particular salary? Okay, fine. What is this particular salary? It's not an aggregated column. If it is not an aggregated column, it has to treat all the 14 columns. Now, using an aggregate, you cannot filter out a column which is not an aggregated column. I mean, based on a non-aggregated column. In earlier cases, we have filtered out the data. In both the case, you see the aggregated columns are present. Right? When I say min or max, both are aggregated columns. All right. Here, a column is non-aggregated one, a column is aggregated. And that is why you would see an error stating that not a group by expression. Always remember, whenever you get an error stating that it's not a group by expression, it means that you are using a non-aggregated column within your query. If at all you see this kind of error message, if at all you see the error message as 979, it means that you are using a non-aggregated column in a column where it is expecting an aggregated column. Is that okay? Clear? Okay, so this query, we have not covered this, but to make you understand of this particular example, I have given this. Okay, this is not yet covered, so forget about the answer for this. But to make you understand about such situations, I have given this particular query for you. All right, we'll cover this as and when we go deep into that particular topic. All right, clear? All right, guys. So these are all the aggregated functions that we have. Okay. Next 3 days, you are going to work for me. Everyone is going to work for me for the next 3 days. ఎక్కడ పెట్టాను So when I say you are going to work for me, it means that you are going to do an assignment for me. Okay. All right. So where it is? ఎక్కడో పెట్టేసా. Sir, I'll pull out from my email. Just give a minute. I'm trying to figure out that assignment. Now everyone do what I say. Okay, follow the same process. What I'm trying to do in your everyone has got your own laptops, right? Or your own database within your laptop. Everyone has it, right? Right? Everyone has got Oracle in their systems, right? All right. Perfect. Now open the command prompt. Open this particular command prompt. Everyone do the same as what I'm trying to do here. This is for your assignment. So is everyone ready with the command prompt? Ready? Everyone. Okay. Type as it is SQL plus and hit enter. Type SQL plus and hit enter. Done. Just try to ping me through chat so that I'll be able to know whether you're in that particular page or not. All right,
Yes.
perfect. All right, now give the username as how to get into Windows 8. No, do it in your machine, in your VM. Anup, don't go out of your VM. Within your VM, do the same thing. You have your database within your VM, right? Anup and Pradeep, do you have the database within your VM? You're using Toad, right? Toad within your VM? Alright. So open the command prompt within the VM itself. Okay, within the VM, what you can do is you can select start, okay, and go for a run command over there. Did you get it? It's Windows XP, right? So you should be able to see. Hit on start, then you would see run command on your right of your start button, I believe. Expand, else expand your, what do you say, the VM. I think you are in the shorter format of, or in the minimized format of your VM. If not, expand your VM and use Windows R, you should be able to. Or else, is that okay now? Were you good now? Okay, if not, Anup, just do it this way. I'm making you as a presenter. Okay, share your screen. Give me access to your system. I made you as a presenter. I made you as a presenter. Come on. Show your screen, Anup.